So our family has been milking here since 1893, so we've been here for 126 years. Currently today, the fourth and fifth generations are involved. My parents, Kevin and Roxy, as well as my brother, and then my husband, Jake, and I are involved in the day-to-day of the operation. We have 20 non-family employees here today, and we milk about 1,200 cows. So about 5 years ago, we were looking at putting a rotary in, and plans kind of got off track for a little while. And then we had our financial consultant, he really encouraged us to look at robots. So we started looking at them, and the more we looked at them, the more we liked them. So we have 8 VMS Classics in a guided traffic barn. We ultimately decided to go with guided traffic because our dealership, they had a lot of data to show us that the robots were going to be efficient, we were going to be able to get more milk production out of a guided flow barn, and that's what we were really looking for. So that's one of the biggest reasons why we chose to go with guided traffic. And right now we're filling a tanker of milk about every 28 hours with 480 cows. So we do still milk 700 cows in our double 9 parallel parlor as well. Every Thursday, our herdsman goes through, we typically select our cows out of our fresh pen. We have 1 fresh pen for the entire farm. They go through and they score udders based on teat placement, and they also determine if they're going to come up here based on their attitude. If they have a poor attitude and they're kind of hard to deal with in the parlor, they're typically going to stay in the parlor. So we move new cows up from the parlor every Wednesday into the VMS barn. And starting Wednesday afternoon through Saturday morning, when our parlor crew gets done with their milking shift in the parlor, they come up and push the cows. So the cows are pushed 3 times a day for 3 days, and we have found that that's really helped us get them to learn the robot a lot better. So today, our cows are averaging about 102 pounds in our robot facility. And in our parlor facility, they're averaging about 92 pounds. So it is about a 10-pound difference. But being a selected herd, usually our higher producers are up in the robot barn. So it's a little bit skewed if you look barn to barn. But overall, we're hitting the production levels that we want to be at. The biggest benefit we have seen so far with the robots is increased milk production, and then we have been able to drop our cull rate by 5%. So we used to always budget for a 35% cull rate. We now are able to budget for a 30% cull rate, and in return, we've been able to, we don't need to keep as many heifer calves, which has made it easier on our calf rearing housing. And the animals are a lot calmer. We walk into the pen, they don't get up, they just kind of stay there, and we're able to walk through the pen, and we don't have to interrupt the cows as much, and the cows are on their schedule now and not our schedule. The teat prep on the VMS is one of the biggest reasons we decided to go with the DeLaval VMS. We just felt that the teat prep on this robot was far superior from what else was out on the market at the time, and we love how it stimulates the teat and the milk letdown. It might take a little bit longer to prep a cow, but in the end, it doesn't take as long to milk the cow because she's better stimulated. We very seldomly have to use the manual attach on the VMS. But sometimes if we get a new cow into the robot, or a new heifer especially, that she's a little unsure of what's going on, she might be a little kicky, then we are able to manually attach it. And usually after we do that a couple times, on a heifer that is kicky, she settles right into a routine. It's also very nice to have because if something goes down in the robot, but we are still able to milk the cows but attach them manually, we're able to keep milking cows while we're fixing the robot. There's a variety of reports we look at every day. Our herdsman up here, he looks at the cow monitor report every day, so that's looking at MDI, so for mastitis. He's found that report really valuable. We have a potential sick cow list. We go through that list every day. We also look at the status and milking, QUI, and the new cows to fetch report. We're always looking at those reports, and we also have a report that our breeder is able to come in and look at, but those are probably the core reports we look at every day. So we work with Advanced Dairy and Bob's Dairy Supply together. So we have been working with Advanced Dairy as long as I can remember. So they are already servicing us. We really liked working with them, and we're always happy with the service they provided. And when we went into this, we made a decision to choose our dealer before we made a decision to choose what robot we were going to go with. And ultimately, we wanted to continue working with the same dealer that had been servicing us. We don't have plans to necessarily expand at this point, but we do have plans to add an additional 8 robots and move all of our cows out of our parlor facility. Over the years to come, our parlor facility is nearing 30 years old, and it's showing its age. So we plan to add 8 more robots and probably convert the existing freestall barn where our parlor cows are housed today into dry cow and heifer housing. We absolutely just love our robot barn.